I need to make one thing clear before we begin. What you're about to hear is not a complete story. It can't be. The Thunderer, this primal force, this god, this eternal warrior, is a concept of such unimaginable scale and power that no single video, no single narrative, no single man could ever do him justice. His legend has echoed through the minds of great men for millennia, carried by gifted poets and bards, carved into stone by craftsmen, sung by skalds, and whispered by warriors before battle. His name changes with the tongue. Thor of the Eddas, Indra of the Vedas, Zeus, Jupiter, Hercules. But the shape, the form, the force behind those names remains the same. You don't need me to rehash the myth, that's all out there. Go look it up. What I'm offering is my understanding, how I've come to know the Thunderer. Not just through story, but through experience. As a special operations warrior, I've walked through the darkness. I've faced the wolves. I've learned what real courage feels like, not in books, but in blood. I felt the thunder not just in the sky, but in my chest, when there's nothing left but willpower. And it's in those moments the Thunderer comes alive, not as myth, but as truth. He is the first hero, the first warrior, the original dragon slayer. And if you understand him, truly understand him, he'll awaken something in you too. This is not a lecture, it is a reminder. This is my invocation of the Great Thunderer. Now, let's begin. It's dark. It's raining. It's cold. The kind of cold that bites through layers, down to the bone. The kind of cold that steals your breath, even your thoughts. The rain doesn't fall like water, it falls like knives. It clings to us, turns to ice on our backs, our beards, our boots. It coats the earth beneath us until every step feels like walking on the edge of a blade. There is no warmth here. We are surrounded. The wolves have been stalking us for miles, just beyond the edge of sight. Eyes in the tree line, growls in the wind. They don't rush us, not yet. They're waiting. Waiting for us to slow down, for us to fall behind. Waiting for us to give up. We've awoken from the dream only to discover the nightmare. We were told the world was ours, that we were free. But the dream was a lie. There is no comfort here. There is no shelter, no fire, no song. Just the storm, just the cold. Just the death that creeps in on four legs and frostbitten breath. And we are dying. Not all at once, slowly, inwardly. Our bodies are still standing, but something inside is breaking, crackling like the ice beneath our feet. My head is swimming, my body burns, wounded somewhere I can't see. blood mixing with rain. I drop to one knee, eyes shut against this thing. I just need a moment. A single breath to make sense of it, to block out the noise. I look inward. And somewhere far off, beyond the static and the howling, I feel it. Faint, almost nothing, but real. A presence, a rhythm, a pulse. I strain to hear it, to see it. But the noise of the world is screaming around me. Wolves snarling, the storm wailing, the weight of it all pressing in like iron walls. I clench my jaw. Focus. There it is again. A sound, faint, but getting clearer. A beat, a call. A voice not made of words, but of something older, something eternal. It's getting closer now. Faster, louder. A pulse pounding in the sky. Everything goes white. For a heartbeat, I see the shape of the world again, lit in stark lines. The trees, the teeth. The men around me, faces hollowed by exhaustion. And then, boom. The heavens split. The earth shakes. My heart stirs. It is thunder. Not just noise, not just weather. It is the signal. The war drum of the gods. The reminder that something ancient still lives in the bones of the world. And now, so do I. I rise. The wolves hesitate, the cold shrinks back. The storm is no longer enemy. It is ally. Because I remember now. The darkness is not the end. The cold is not the final word. The storm is not here to break us. It is here to wake us. The thunder is calling, and we are not dead yet. I can feel the warmth return to my fingers and toes, subtle at first, then rushing in like fire meeting dry timber. The numbness gives way to sensation. The bleeding has stopped, the pain remains, but the weakness is gone. My thoughts, once clouded by exhaustion and despair, sharpen like blade across stone. The world comes into focus. The howling fades, the fear retreats. I can feel the blood pumping through my chest again, steady, strong, alive. I am not broken. I was tempered. I am not lost. I was waiting. And now, I stand. My spine straightens, my fists tighten, the tremble is gone. The fear has given way to courage, the hesitation to resolve. What I once called weakness was only the space between lightning and thunder, and the thunder has come. I survived the storm, and something within me has changed. No longer drifting, no longer asleep. I rise again, higher. I face the wolves not as prey, but as predator. not with dread, but with fire in my eyes. They see it now. They sense it. Something ancient stands before them, something that does not yield. The Thunderer is with me. And I was born for this. Long before books were bound, before churches rose from stone, before even the first crown was hammered into gold, there was the sky, and in it, thunder. Not just noise, not just storm, but presence. The ancient peoples of every Aryan tribe knew his name. The Greeks called him Zeus, cloud gatherer, king of Olympus. The Romans named him Jupiter, father of lightning, wielder of law. But in the north, among the deep forests and icebound fjords, he bore another name. Thor, Thunderer.Not, Thunraz. The great striker, the first warrior, the god of thunder. Where Zeus ruled from a throne, Thor rode into battle. Where Hercules performed his labors in service of kings, Thor fought dragons with bare hands and a hammer. He was not a philosopher king. He was the wall between Midgard and the dark. He was courage made flesh. He was strength incarnate. He was the sound of war in the sky. The one who never waited, never begged, never bowed. His footsteps were storms. His voice was the drumbeat of defiance. The Mjolnir did not merely shatter bones. It shattered fear itself. Because Thor was not born in peace, he was born in crisis. And that is where courage lives. Courage is not the absence of fear, that is fantasy. Courage is acting in spite of it. The ancient Greeks understood this. Before battle, warriors made offerings to Phobos, the god of fear and panic. Not to banish fear, but to acknowledge it, to face it, to say, I see you and I will not run. For they knew, without fear, there can be no courage. Just as there can be no thunder without the tensions of silence before it. The ancient Herios, our ancestors, were surrounded at all times by danger. Not comfort, not safety, but ever-present threat. Danger from nature, danger from hostile tribes, danger from themselves if they ever forgot who they were. These dangers weren't ignored, they were confronted, and often they were given shape. Jotun titans, monsters and beasts fantastic. Not simply tales for children, but mythic expressions of the forces that threaten man at every level. Sometimes vast and cosmic, sometimes personal and immediate, but always real. These were not mere stories, they were tools. Mythology was a book of solutions, forged in fire and frost, passed down not for entertainment but for survival. The memory of how we endured, the blueprint for how we rise. And at the heart of it all stood the Thunderer, the courage of our tribe, the strength of our warriors, the protector of our people. He elevates the station of the whole tribe by strengthening the heart of each and every man. Thor does not save us, he teaches us to save ourselves. He does not promise ease, he promises power. And through his strength, we remember our own. When the tribes of old marched beneath his banner, they did not do so as machines free of emotion. They marched with blood pounding, breath shaking, fear in their mortal hearts, but fire in their eyes. Because they knew what Thor had taught them, that the only way out is through, and the only way through is with strength. A strength not only of body, but of resolve, of spirit, of will. That's why they survived. That's why they carved out worlds from wilderness. Why they buried their dead in barrows facing east, waiting for the dawn. Because, my brother, no matter how dark it gets, the sun will always rise again. This is why they lit fires on mountaintops to call down the gods, because they believed, truly believed, that strength was not given, it was earned. And Thor was the hammer that forged it. The great Thunderer of the Herios, the heart of every Aryan man, the defender of Midgard, the Son of God. Modernity has taken to mocking him because they must, because they fear that if the great tribes of the Herios ever replace the fear that has been instilled in them with the thunder of their ancestors, the world will quake under the chariots of the Aryan once more. Wake up, brothers. Do not fear the storm. We are the storm. Thor cannot be buried. He cannot be silenced. You cannot wish him away. He is in our very DNA. He lives in every act of defiance against decay. He rises wherever fear is faced with fists clenched. He awakens when a man chooses action over apathy. He rides when men remember that they are not meant to kneel. So let the storm come. Let the wolves circle. Let the skies darken. We do not ask for mercy. We ask for thunder. Because we are not afraid of the storm. We remember who we are. We remember who walks with us. Look around. Every day the tribes are waking up from their slumber. The great Thunderer of the Herios rides again, and we ride with him. Until next time.